So by now we know there's a lot of DLC for Payday 2, like holy shit how much money did I sink in this game amount of DLC. But over the years there's been some fairly good packs and some fairly bad ones. But today we're going to look at the best DLC packs of all time. This isn't an opinion by the way, this is fact. I know what I'm talking about here because I did my research. If you have your own views then fair enough, but remember, they're wrong. To start off this list, let's look at one of the best packs that were ever added to this game, and also one of the first ones with theming as well. The historical pack is a beautiful array of melee weapons and firearms, and some masks. I mean, the masks aren't the focus here, it's mainly the firearms. And to start off this list we're going to look at the MG42. It's a very responsive gun and it feels very satisfying to use. Also, for the pro players out there, the MGS42 is actually Death Wish viable if you have the right skills. You don't think so? Well, you're probably shit at it then. After that we have the Mosin in the gun, which pretty much is the best sniper rifle in this game. There's nothing better out there. You could tell me that the fucking Thanatos is amazing, but you're still wrong. It's a pile of crap. It's a pile of crap, it's fucking awful. And then you've got the broomstick. And, well, I haven't got much to say about this weapon, but you can't broom the floor with it. You'd probably get yourself shot in the head. And then finally we have the Godly Pratchett. Now this gun is good. It's very responsive, brilliant stability, and definitely one down viable. Again, you probably haven't played it enough because you're not a professional player like myself, but if you're not using this gun on one down, you're probably doing something wrong. Overall, the pack is pretty satisfying, and overall, the content that they offer here is just worth the money. However, it is let down by the melee weapons because, as we all know, nothing is as good as the buzzer or the stun knuckles, which are free. So there's no point buying the Golden Grin DLC anymore because no one plays the heist because of shit. So yeah, I guess that's cool. Do you know what's amazing in Payday 2? DLC heisters, of course. They're like the best DLCs out there. And who's the best one that's ever come out? Clover? Rust? Sydney? No, fuck Sydney, she's a pile of shit. I'm talking about Jimmy. Jimmy is the best fucking DLC heister in this game. You know what I love about Jimmy? He's fucking mental. There's something about playing a coked-up psychopath that ticks all the right boxes for me. Compared to all the other heisters in Payday, Jimmy feels like the most developed. I could happily compare Jimmy to Wolf. Just imagine Dallas giving Wolf a shit ton of drugs and having a voice actor, and then BAM! You got Jimmy. With this amazing perk deck, Akimbo SMG Heaven, and melee weapon, which I can't even fucking remember the name of. I believe it was a Pack-a-Punch Ballistic Knife from Cock-a-Doodle. But anyway, you can't get any better than Jimmy, and I honestly think that he should be one of the new main characters for Payday 3. Either replacing Wolf, as let's be fair at this point, he's never going to get a new voice actor, so they're going to kill him off in the next game. Or replace Dallas as the leader of the gang, with maybe a betrayal heist. Or just have Payday 3 as Jimmy. That would be fine by me. Remember that joke everybody made in Steam forums and Reddit about a Goat Simulator crossover, and remember how fucking stupid that sounded? Well, you guessed it, it ended up actually being a great piece of DLC. When they first announced the DLC, I was actually speechless, and I was kind of just like, fuck it, what's the point? I still have no idea how I feel about this level of stupidity from Overkill today, but to make such a ridiculous crossover, the maps themselves are pretty good. The first map is very unique in the sense of being if you're on the floor every 5 minutes, due to being on the streets while being sniped to death. And then there's the second map. Well, I mean, you're about to witness some good old goat fondling.
Dirty and smelly. I can't wait. Let's do this.
I actually read that in the script, what am I doing? But freedom fighters come to save the day and you free the goats, but then remember it's because you're the bad guys, and you're dicks, so you kill them. Goats are such a weird idea for a heist, but it works somehow. It makes sense for the Payday gang to take some goats, shove some meth up their ass, and then get some Russian guy to take them back out again. But you know what the best part of this DLC is? Payday 2 is still buggier than the Goat Simulator game itself, and that's magical. Now, you know what's great in Payday 2? Masks. Masks seem to be the high selling point for this game, and they've recently created the Mega Collection. What's different about the Mega Masks? Well, they look a tiny bit like a particle effect, similar to how the Unusual works in TF2. Honestly, there's not a lot I can mention about these masks, but just look at them. They're great. I mean, look at the combinations there are. You've got this, that, also this one. Oh, no, okay, maybe we should move on. But personally, I think the best part of these DLCs has brought the community together. Begging for codes online, whinging because you never got one of the Mega Clover or Mega Stickney masks. I don't have a Mega Stickney mask, so if you have a code, please PM me. at I don't give a shit at overkill.net. But in fact, there is one better DLC than this which really brought the community together. And let's have a look at number 1. So who here remembers the hype train? Or should I say Overkill's Kickstarter event? Most of you have forgotten it, however, because you never speak about it. Well, they had a DLC there which, to be honest, caused a lot of controversy back in the day, which everyone seemed to have forgotten again, and that's the Completely Overkill pack. If you've never heard of this pack, or simply drank too much whiskey to forget like myself, the Completely Overkill pack was Overkill's way of allowing players to support them in order to add extra fuel to the Kickstarter goal. But I bet you're wondering, what did this pack actually bring to us back in the day? Well, if you remember correctly, the Completely Overkill pack added very little, but what you got in there was definitely worth it. Originally, you only got 4 Mega Masks, which were later increased to the community as all of you are a bunch of selfish crybabies. You were also given a safe, which they mentioned you'd get almost a year ago, and then they teased it for a while. But then we realised this was due to being introduced with the microtransaction system that later got removed again because once again, we're all a bunch of crybabies. Honestly, I preferred the game when it did have drills, as it was the best way to add replay value to the game with someone who's played it to death. But also, you can see, without having all the funding, they've actually lost progression in recent updates, and a lot of the recent updates have been pretty shit. Because I mean, look at what we got since the drills were added. We got Bodhi, Jimmy, the Hardcore Henry heist, tutorials, Panic Room, and if you actually count that, I guess that's about it. Now, you could say the Halloween and Christmas events count as well, or even First World Bank and Slaughterhouse, but let me make things clear. These were event heists. They don't really count as they were made in previous years before the safes. And First World Bank and Slaughterhouse too, well, they're readers of old heists, so they don't count. I mean, you can say the same with Panic Room, but that was after. If you look at the amount of paid content recently compared to the free content we got after the safes were added and redone to suit the childish haters, we're the ones causing Payday 2 to die. Nothing else makes sense. The engine is flawless, the devs are completely honest to us, and do what's best for us, and all we do is complain like childish twats. It's our fault we expected too much from the game, and it has been out for multiple years with tons of success. What did you honestly think this game was going to be like? Minecraft? Well, there is actually a way we can fix this in preparation for Payday 3, and that would be buy their DLC. No, seriously, Overkill obviously needs the money for Payday 3, otherwise it will fail. And if you're having doubts about buying the DLC, just remember, you can trust me, I'm a professional YouTuber. Now stop watching me and go buy the fucking DLC.